Right, live on Instagram and Facebook. So let's let me organize that a little bit. Okay. Right, hello and welcome to some meditation. Seeing people joining there. Hello, evil Maranoid. Still don't know your name. Okay, yeah, if you're used to meditating, this is. Hang on. Right. Let me start that again. If you're used to meditating, great. Just hang on a little bit while I explain for people who are not used to meditating what I do. Because meditation is one of those things that is talked about a lot, but it's not very well understood, or there's a kind of an expectation that you should just know what you're doing, which is not great. It's not a class. I meditate throughout the day, and this is just the one I do on Instagram and Facebook. So, sorry, I keep fiddling with this. Oh, sorry for the loud bang. Right. So for me, it starts with why I would meditate. I am trying to connect with a place that I connect to every night, but I do that unconsciously. It's the place I go to when I'm in deep dreamless sleep. So I go asleep, I close my eyes, I'm thinking turns into dreaming, and then I drop out the bottom of dreaming into deep dreamless sleep. And I don't experience myself in the way I normally do. I've no memory of it. I've no thoughts when I'm there. I've no body, I've no country, none of my stories, none of my usual stuff. Just nothing to speak of. It's a bit like death, or what I imagine death is. And yet, I mean, it sounds terrible when you describe it like that, but yet I love going to sleep, and most people do. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel refreshed. So I know that somewhere I know that that is a good place. So when I'm meditating, or my intention with meditation is to connect with that place, but just to do it consciously. It's almost, can feel like an almost impossible task. But because I'm trying to connect with something that I can't really, my mind can't really go in there. It sort of dissolves as it gets close to it. In fact, I have to make a little kind of arrangement with my mind. I have to say, look, could you mind, no pun intended, could you mind not thinking for the next 15 minutes, because I want to do some meditation. Now, my mind is like, yeah, great, I love the idea of meditation, because my mind is all about ideas. There's lots of concepts about meditation, it's read things about meditation, it's got lots of thoughts about meditation. So it likes the idea of it a lot. So it's like, yay, let's do meditation. The thing is, though, it's pretty hard, very hard for my mind to stop thinking for any length of time, because it's just used to thinking all the time. From the moment I wake up in the morning until I go asleep, I'm just thinking all the time. Even dreaming is kind of thinking. And just as an aside, that's one of the reasons why I don't do like guided meditations or anything like that. I used to years ago, but I don't want to just give my mind something else to think about. It's the same reason I don't use mantras, because mantras are great at the beginning, but then what you're really doing with the mantra is numbing your mind into vaguing out. It's like the repetition of a mantra. It gives your mind something to do, and it just becomes hypnotic. It's a hypnotic thing, which is great. And I'm not saying anything against it. It's just not what I want to do. I want to go into this mysterious place, and as much as I can. So it's easy enough to stop thinking, because thinking is made of pictures and sound. So I can just turn those off pretty much like I would on a TV. Turn off the sound, I turn off the pictures, and that's it, I'm not thinking. The hard bit is that my mind very quickly, like within a couple of instants, will be thinking again. And the reason I sort of go into all that is, if you're not used to meditating, you could have this impression that you're supposed to be like completely still on the inside, and everything is supposed to be dead quiet in there, which isn't the case. Because it's a paradox, because my intention is to go to this mysterious place, but my mind keeps thinking, so I'm continually bringing my mind back over and over and over again from thinking. I'm discovering I'm thinking and then bringing my mind back, turning off the pictures, turning off the sound. That's the practice of meditation. And if you don't know about that, you could very quickly become frustrated because you start off and you go, yeah, great, I want to meditate, and then you suddenly discover you're thinking, oh, I'm thinking, okay, let's stop, turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. 2 instants later, you're thinking again. You're like, oh, okay. That happens 10 times. You're like, I am rubbish at this. I am rubbish at meditating. What is wrong with me? I sit down to meditate and I just think for the whole time. And that's kind of missing two important things. One, that you stop and you make time to meditate. That's very powerful. It mightn't seem like it, but in the course of your day, for whatever length of time that you're awake, let's say it's what, 16 hours, 16 hours, 17, 18 hours, that you're going, if you only just do this one meditation, that you're saying, I'm just going to take this 15 minutes out of my 18 hours that I'm awake, and I'm just going to focus on something that's a bit deeper, a bit more real maybe, or a bit more true. And I'm going to stop the momentum of the day. That's very powerful. And then the fact that you're continually bringing your mind back over and over and over again, that's very powerful as well. Because every time you discover that you're thinking and you bring your mind back, it's like you're detaching from those thoughts. So one instant you're like, whatever the thought is, particularly if it's a very personal thought, you know, that person did this wrong to me or whatever. And you're like, oh, that's terrible, and you're right in it. And then suddenly, the next instant, the magical instant, you go, oh, that's right, I was meditating. And you're like, it comes off, and you're like, oh, there's me thinking. Right. So every time you do that, you are, without saying it directly, if you're observing your thoughts, then you cannot be those thoughts. You're something else. And the fact that you do that like 200, 300, 400 times in 15 minutes, that's very powerful as well. It brings this sort of mystery up to the surface. Okay, so while all that not thinking is going on, I'm also letting go of tension in my body. And I have a system for that because it's too vague without a system. So I'm sort of starting at my head, working down to my feet, and back up again. And I just keep doing that. And a good way to think of it, or a handy way to think of it, is if you think of your body like a river, going from your head to your feet, or your feet to your head, doesn't matter. If you think of places that go across your body like a log in the river, tension can build up anywhere there's anything that goes across. So I'll be checking my eyes, my mouth, the base of my neck, my shoulder girdle, my joints, my shoulder joint, my elbows, my wrist, my fingers, then my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, because they're going every way, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, and my feet, my toes. I'll just be paying particular attention to them. Anywhere I find tension, I'll let it go with my out breath, which is another kind of just natural way of doing that. I set a timer because I don't want to be thinking about how long I'm meditating for. If you're new, but I'd suggest you set a shorter timer. 15 minutes can be a long time if you're not used to it. So yeah, maybe set a 5-minute and then just repeat that 3 times. Okay, can't think of anything else. Yeah, if you want to share how your meditation is going, or if you want to ask a question, fire away in the comments. But for now, we will get on with it. Okay, well, thank you for meditating with me. That's time up, by the way. Yeah, just remind you about the Zoom group. That's actually been moved to by Evil Maranoid. That's been moved to Thursday, so you still have a chance to go. That's this coming Thursday. It's going to be Thursdays now. If you don't know what a Zoom group is, just go and have a look on my feed. You'll see little extracts by Patanek. You'll see little extracts from other Zoom groups, and you can get an idea. It's for people who are going through further emergence to sort of ask questions and share and that kind of thing. So yeah, have a look at that, and if you're interested, then yeah, register for Thursday. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Okay, bye.